Hello friends, welcome to Ray Academy and welcome to my new live class. And in this class, friends, we are going to discuss current affairs. That means current affairs, equally important upcoming examination. Class is presented by me, Prabhakar Jha. And in this class, friends, a topic or is related to and prelims. जैसे कि आप लोग को पता ही होगा कि हमारा continuous of weekly current affairs. Weekly current affairs is very important for your upcoming examination because in this session, friends, cover a top most important topic from various you can say various aspects of various subjects that are in frequent news, and that is very important for your upcoming examination. So as I already told you कि सबसे पहले हम लोग क्या कवर करेंगे टॉपिक हो ओके तो वेरी गुड इवनिंग जयश्री जी वेरी गुड इवनिंग अर्चना जी वेरी गुड इवनिंग सुखेतन जी now let's start our discussion, and as I told you we'll discuss a most important topic and also for prelims examination. So let's start with the first topic, and the first topic is friend, the Australia India scripting a new chapter in bilateral relation. That means the India Australia relation is very important. India Australia relation very important, and in present situation okay, India Australia relation, India America relation, then also you can India USA relation, India China relation, India Ukraine relation, India West Asia relation we have discussed also. So first of all, let's understand that this topic is related to what? This topic is related to international relations. So this topic is related to IR. We can say na this topic is related to IR. So you have to command this topic is an IR. And in present context, IR is very important to mind. Okay? Present context. So we should understand what is the context, why we are going to discuss this topic. So Rahil, Abbas, very good evening. Let's start. Let's discuss the first of all context. What is the context? Basically, friends, in a present situation, or also you can say in a present context, I already told you international relation is very important. So context is India and Australia are keen to move beyond mere rhetoric and build a robust partnership, the changing geological scenario, and come up with tangible commitments to a peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Basically, at present situations, talk about the Indo-Pacific region. Indo-Pacific region is very important. Indo-Pacific region is very important. You will have to keep in mind. And already we have discussed in previous classes, there is a quad group and quad, okay, quadrilateral dialogue, quadrilateral security, sorry, AD, dialogue, and this is informal dialogue. Okay, this is formal dialogue. This is not a formal dialogue. You will have to keep in the mind. And at present situation, India-Australia relation is growing day by day. India-Australia relation is growing day by day. Good evening, Mithun. Good evening, Hemant. And also we should understand the importance of Russia, so importance of Australia, okay, is you can say na ki top priority. Australia, America, and the country, that means ki vested which interest is vested in the Pacific region are top priority for India. Let's take example, जैसे कि मैं आप लोग को बताऊं कि आप देखोगे कि जैसे आप वर्तमान में देखो इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन में बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. वी हैव डिस्कस इन प्रीवियस क्लास अबाउट द साउथ चाइना सी, दैट मींस एनी प्रीवियस क्लास. एंड इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन जो है वो आपका भारत के लिए, साथ में ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए, अमेरिका के लिए, जापान के लिए, इन सभी के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओके, इन सभी के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप जितने प्लीज लाइक तो जरूर कर दीजिएगा, है ना. एंड नाउ इसके बाद जब हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं तो थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड भी हमें जानना चाहिए. और मैंने कॉन्टेक्स्ट बताया कि अभी प्रेजेंट आपका ऑस्ट्रेलिया और भारत जो है एक नए हम लोग कहते हैं कि संबंधों को बना रहे हैं. एंड दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन टेंजिबल कमिटमेंट्स वाई टू अ पीसफुल एंड प्रोस्परस इंडो पैसिफिक. एंड एक बैकग्राउंड की अगर बात करते हैं तो इन द प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो our relationship revolve around the free movement of people, goods, services, capital, and questions like economic sovereignty and self-reliance. That means every country basically will talk about the developing countries or developed countries. Okay, developing countries or developed countries इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन सभी के क्या है, आपके सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट होते हैं, सभी के क्या है, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट होता है। एंड सभी लोग जो है क्या चाहते हैं, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट को पूरा करना चाहते हैं। इसी के लिए इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन कोऑपरेशन जो है वो टेक प्लेस होता है, कोऑपरेशन आपका आता है। ओके, कोऑपरेशन जो है ये आपका बीच में आता है। एंड एवरी कंट्री क्या चाहते हैं, एवरी कंट्री वांट सेल्फ, यू कैन से ना कि डिपेंडेंसी, ओके, एंड आल्सो सेल्फ रिलायंस, कैन से कि सेल्फ रिलायंस। नाउ गुड इवनिंग कंटेन देन श्रीकांत मंडल, ओके, और लाइक अभी तक सभी लोगों ने नहीं किया, प्लीज लाइक जरूर करिएगा। नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड। जो मैंने बताया कि बैकग्राउंड में इन प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो आवर रिलेशनशिप revolves around the free movement of people, goods, services, capital, and question like economic sovereignty and self-reliance. Not only related to Australia, also related to America, also related to Russia, okay, also related, you can say China, and in basically in international relation, movement of people, free movement of goods, free movement of services, free movement of capital are the basic or are the important aspects, because friend it's gets translated into new aspirations, okay, new players, revised allegiance, and brought together by the consequences of the COVID-19 या COVID pandemic, okay, because after the COVID pandemic अगर आप देखोगे कि सभी कंट्री की जरूरतें जो है वो बदला है, सभी कंट्री के जो आप बात करते हो कि कॉपरेशन जो है ये भी इंक्रीज हुआ है। लेकिन एट प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन, रिसेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट अगर आप देखो तो एक टसल भी चल रहा है ना अपने वर्ल्ड में, कि टसल जो है यूक्रेन वर्सेस रशिया का जो टसल चल रहा है ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होगा। ओके, तो इसलिए मैंने आप लोग को प्रीवियस क्लास में वी हैव डिस्कस द इंडिया एंड वेस्ट एशिया रिलेशन, इंडिया एंड द वेस्ट एशिया रिलेशन। So what is the important aspects over related to, okay, important aspects related to India and Australia relationship? We should discuss, we should go through the overview of India and Australia relationship. Basically friends, Australia and India established diplomatic relation in pre-independence period. तो इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया की अगर आप बात करते हो, जो हमारा डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशंस है, डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशन ये आपका कब स्टार्ट हुआ था, प्री इंडिपेंडेंस पीरियड में स्टार्ट हुआ था, व्हेन द कॉन्सुल जनरल ऑफ इंडिया वाज फर्स्ट ओपन एज ट्रेड ऑफिस इन सिडनी 1941. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके, एंड देन आफ्टर 1941, in March 1944, Australia appointed its first High Commissioner to India, and India's first High Commissioner to Australia arrived in Canberra in 1945. Basically, our relation, India's relation with Australia has a historical context, because historical context means India and Australia set up their trade relation before independence. First of all, you can say that Consul General of India was first opened as a trade office in 1941, and after 1941, Australia set up first High Commissioner in India in 1944, and then India set up first High Commissioner to Australia in 1945, Canberra. Then friends, and one of the most important aspects between the Australia and the India relation, in 2009 they were a strategic partnership, okay, they were a strategic partnership, and a strategic partnership was established between the two countries. Relations have significantly expanded from since 2009. Then in 2013, okay, AK Antony became the first ever Indian defense minister to visit Australia, so this is also important. So basically India and Australia share the strategic relationship. What is the meaning of strategic relationship? Anyone, can you tell me what is the meaning of the strategic relationship? कोई आप मुझे बता सकते हो कि strategic relationship, what is the meaning of strategic? एनीवन कमेंट करके बताइए फटाफट। स्ट्रैटेजिक रिलेशनशिप जो इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन जो है वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होता है आपका। ओके, प्लीज जल्दी से बता दो कि व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द स्ट्रैटेजिक रिलेशनशिप। Also we can say ki strategic partnership. Okay, strategic partnership basically if we'll talk about the strategic partnership, so it okay, strategic partnership in two nation, okay, though not a clearly defined term, but it is understood as the referring to a bilateral partnership in strategic issues such as defense and security, but it is not an actual alliance. Okay, so it is a relationship more important than others and may include economic interest as well as trade interest, investment interest, banking interest, and strategic partnership or strategic relation also offers avenues of further convergence. The designated issue, in case the geopolitical scenario changes or there is an increase in the geostrategic significance of other or you can say ki partner nation. So for India, friends, you can say strategic partnership are declarative policy instruments, and intention for each, you can say India's intention for strategic partnership is the deeper engagement on issue of mutual interest. That means, let's take an example. Let's take an example. Okay, at present Ukraine is in news. Okay, and India said a strategic relation with Australia. So India and Australia will cooperate. India Australia will talk on the issue of Ukraine. So basically we can say कि in strategic relation, if अगर हम लोग कह सकते हैं if there is common interest, okay, so both country will share their views. Both country will you can say कि give a also you can say common, okay, common facts, and also both country will take you can say na ki interest the world scenario, in the world scenario. So basically we can say strategic partnership for India is foot in the door, okay, foot in the door strategy. And since India favors a strategic autonomy at present and instead of non-alignment of the Cold War days. So no, and at present India has more than 30 countries. That means India has signed a strategic partnership with more than 30 countries since the first one with France in 1998. You have to keep in the mind, India signed first strategic relation with France. France, okay, France, when 1998. So first strategic country for India was France. Okay, and after that you can say at present more than 30 country. India has signed more than 30 country. Okay, strategic, and also you can say at present India has more than 30 country as a strategic partnership. And just like Rwanda is also America, China, Japan. Okay, so this is very important. And then friends, now let's move ahead and discuss about the India-Australia relation. So I told you कि India-Australia relation share, okay, the common interest. India-Australia has also strategic partnership, and it was signed in 2009. Okay, and A.K. Antony was the first defense minister, first ever Indian defense minister who visited Australia in 2013. And India is Australia's 7th largest trading partner and our 6th largest export market in 2020. Very important. Okay. And India's export basket to Australia majorly comprised of goods like petroleum products, medicine, polished diamonds, gold jewelry, apparel, that means textile. And while key Australian export to India include coal, LNG, alumina, and non-monetary gold. And India is deepening its engagement with Australia. India is trying to, okay, also we can say India is trying to deepening its engagement with Australia. So what India is doing and why India is trying to deepening its engagement with Australia, we should understand, because friends, at present situation, we can say there is changing global dynamics. Global dynamics is changing. What? Global dynamics is changing. Okay. Basically, the India-Australia bilateral story is changing rapidly, and the dynamic global geostrategic and geoeconomic landscape is intensifying competition and redefining power, principles, and values on which the regional order should be based. And the apparent barriers of the pandemic have provided a new kind of catalyst for greater connectivity, cooperation, coexistence. So we should discuss, and I already told you, after the COVID-19 pandemic, after the COVID-19 pandemic, the cooperation has increased not only with Australia, also with various countries. Okay, also with various countries. We should understand. And then, friends, the Australia has reiterated its support for a free and open Indo-Pacific Ocean. Australia said we need a free. Okay, please keep in the mind. Australia said we need a free and open Indo-Pacific Ocean. Okay, तो इंडिया और ऑस्ट्रेलिया दोनों क्या कर रहे हैं, अपने जो संबंध हैं, जो रिलेशन है, जो बायलेटरल रिलेशन है, उसको इंक्रीज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. जैसे आई टोल्ड यू ना कि जैसे भारत के लिए ऑस्ट्रेलिया महत्वपूर्ण है, वैसे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए भी भारत महत्वपूर्ण है. ओके. एंड फॉर द यू कैन से ना कि बेटर यूज ऑफ द इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन, इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान, अमेरिका formed an informal group, and it is known as the Quad. So while doing so, the Quad has agreed to accelerate the delivery of COVID-19 vaccine across the regions, address regional challenges including a humanitarian assistance and disaster response, maritime security, counter terrorism, countering disinformation, and cyber security. Okay. Anyone, can you tell me about the Indo-Pacific Ocean? What is Indo-Pacific Ocean? मैंने शायद डिस्कस भी आप लोग के साथ किया हुआ है पहले भी. Indo-Pacific Ocean. What is the meaning of Indo-Pacific Ocean? कोई बता सकते हैं? No problem. I'm going to tell you about the Indo-Pacific Ocean. You'll have to the mind. Okay. So what is Indo-Pacific? Let's understand, and let's understand that means कि आपको याद रखना होगा. Basically, it is a common thread. Okay, thread that comprise 38 countries. 38 countries. 38 countries. Okay, 44% of world surface area. 44% of world surface area. 44% of the world surface area. And then also you can say कि Indo-Pacific Ocean is home to more than 64% of the world's population. More than 64% of the world's population, and accounts for 62% of the global GDP. GDP की अगर आप बात करते हैं, so it is 2%. Indo-Pacific Ocean का जो पूरे वर्ल्ड के अगर कंपेयर करेंगे तो 62% है. And with more than 50% of global trade, 50%, okay, global trade जो है आप देखो 50% global trade है. Let's keep the mind. And also you can say कि traversing through its waters, highly heterogeneous with countries at different levels of development. Okay. And India and Australia, I told you India is deepening its engagement with Australia. So why? So we have discussed changing global dynamics. Then Australia has reiterated its support for a free and Indo-Pacific Ocean. Then India and Australia is also the member of the Quad. And India and Australia are both members of the Quad, okay, along with the US and Japan. And both countries have noted that the coalition has given impetus, okay, to increasing trade relation between all members of the Quad. Yeah, also friends, Australia has also proposed to host an Indo-Pacific Clean Energy Supply Chain Forum mid 2022. Okay, so Australia has also proposed to host an Indo-Pacific Clean Energy Supply Chain Forum in mid 2022. So this is very important. Okay, and also friends, in Indo-Pacific also know about the few facts. आपको थोड़ा सा जो है की फैक्ट्स तो बताया, थोड़ा सा और भी चीजें आपको समझा दूं, बता दूं कि अगर देखोगे कि जो इंडो पैसिफिक जो है वो क्या है, इंडो पैसिफिक तो एक जियो पॉलिटिकल कंस्ट्रक्ट है जो कि एक इमर्ज हुआ था आपका, हम लोग कहते हैं बहुत पहले ये आपका इमर्ज हुआ था। ओके, जो इससे पहले एक यूरो अटलांटिक डायमेंशन आया, फिर जो है आपका इंडो पैसिफिक आए हैं। मेजर स्टॉक होल्डर इन द इंडो पैसिफिक आर इंडिया, यूएसए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान, then ASEAN members and other maritime nations that occupy the strategic position in the Indian and the Pacific Ocean, including a small island country. So we have discussed the facts about the Indo-Pacific and why India is deepening its engagement with Australia. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the contemporary development in the Australia and the India. Contemporary development, this is very important. अंडरस्टैंड द कंटेम्प्रेरी डेवलपमेंट। ओके, बिकॉज अगर हम लोग कंटेम्प्रेरी डेवलपमेंट को नहीं समझेंगे तो हमें जो है बहुत सारी चीज़ें समझ में नहीं आएगा। ओके, तो चलिए इसको हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं और इसको जो है आगे बढ़ाते हैं कि व्हाट आर द कंटेम्प्रेरी डेवलपमेंट्स द ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड द इंडिया कंटेम्प्रेरी डेवलपमेंट्स। So let's move ahead and let's discuss about the contemporary developments. So in a contemporary development, their engagement on both sides has amplified across multiple platforms, clearly focus on building tangible commitments and action. That is a win-win partnership. Win-win partnership means both countries will get mutually benefits. Both countries will get mutually benefits. So India and Australia relation is working on the win-win partnership. Okay, win-win partnership. And then there is also important factor win-win partnership, and India has been supporting Australia on the issue of South China Sea through improved bilateral relation, and also India is likely to strengthen its strategic partnership with Australia to counter China military and diplomatic aggression. So basically we can say na कि Australia can play a major role. Australia can play a major role in Indo-Pacific region, and it is very you can say कि win-win situation for India. That means कि India can counter the Chinese you can say na कि threat. Okay, Chinese threat, and India has extended the invitation to Australia and the Australian contingent the 2020 Malabar exercise. एंड इससे पहले जो मालाबार एक्सरसाइज होता था उसमें क्या था आपका कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ जो है हम लोग कहते हैं कि जापान, ठीक, फिर जो है आपका अमेरिका, अब ऑस्ट्रेलिया को भी इंक्लूड जो है किया जा रहा है या आपका इनवाइट जो किया गया था। एंड इंडिया इज सीकिंग टू डिपेंड आवर बायलैटरल ट्रेड एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट लिंक्स थ्रू द कंक्लूजन ऑफ अ comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. We have already discussed in previous class about the CISA. I already told you कि first of all there will be preferential trade agreement, then there will be FTA, then CEPA, then CISA. Okay, so you will have to keep in the mind, and this is very important aspects. This is very important aspects और हमें समझना भी है। ना उसके बाद जब हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं तो नेक्स्ट देखते हैं कि व्हाट आर द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया। ओके, इंडियाज इंटरेस्ट in you can say India's interest in the Indo-Australia relation. So basically one of the most important interest is geopolitical aspiration. So basically India wants to expand its presence in the Indo-Pacific region, and also you can say India wants to expand its presence in the Africa continent, Middle East and Southeast Asia, and maintain its role as a net security provider. Okay, net security provider. So basically we can say India wants to play a major role in the world. India wants to play a major role in the world. We'll have to understand. India wants to play a major role in the world. Major role means कि India wants to play you can say security providers role. Security provider role. And then उसके बाद हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं तो हम लोग बात करते हैं India wants to counter the China, we have already discussed, okay. And then India wants to enhance trade and investment cooperation. How? By encouraging the greater flow of goods, services, investments, technology between India and other country in the Pacific region. And then promoting sustainable development. India wants to promote sustainable development between the Indo-Pacific region's country. And in the upcoming times, climate change is set to adversely affect India. So India wants to focus on sustainable development. India wants to promote sustainable development. And there are other interests also. So it include combating marine pollution, regulating illegal trade, unregulated and unreported fishing, deep sea mineral exploration, and effective disaster risk management. Effective disaster risk management. So very, very important. You will have to keep in the mind. So we have discussed ki, can say ki why Australia is important for India. Then also we can say ki why Indo-Pacific region is important for India. Geopolitical aspiration, countering China, enhancing trade and investment cooperations, promoting sustainable development, and there are also various miscellaneous interests, other interest. Now, we should move ahead and we should discuss what are the bilateral economic and trade relationship between the India and China, between the India and Australia. So, what are the bilateral economic and trade relationship? So, first of all, friends, there is economic integration. So, economic integration mandates greater physical infrastructure and connectivity between South and Southeast Asia. And the Australian government will invest to promote infrastructure investment opportunity, the region to Australia business, and to improve Australian resources and mining equipment, okay, technology and services. We can say ki METS, mining equipment, technology and services. So basically, in Australia, Australian government is ready to invest, okay, ready to invest for the economic integration. Then critical technology cooperation, okay, critical technology cooperation. Basically, with the advent of you can say like industry 4.0, 4.0 industry. What is the meaning of 4.0 industry? 4.0 इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन तो कह सकते हैं, क्या मीनिंग है, क्या आप लोग कमेंट कर सकते हैं? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ 4 इंडस्ट्री? एनीवन? तो प्रॉब्लम सबसे बड़ा क्या है, लाइव होता है ना वो 1 मिनट 2 मिनट पीछे वो आपका चलता है, शायद आप लोग का कमेंट आने में टाइम लग जाता है और मैं जो आगे बढ़ जाता हूँ, थोड़ा उसका रखिएगा और लाइव जुड़ा रहे और ऑल्सो ट्राई टू पार्टिसिपेट, आप पार्टिसिपेट. So what is the meaning of the 4.0 industry? Maybe I have discussed about the industry 1.0, industrialization 2.0, industrialization 3.0, industrialization 4.0. So basically industrialization 4.0 is related to what? Anyone? Not a single one. ओके, तो मैंने आपको टाइम दिया बट आप लोगों ने बताया नहीं कि व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री 4.2 या इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन 4.2. Basically, friends, industrialization 4.0 is related to machine language, related to automated, related to cyber. Okay, it is related to the usage of ICT, related to the Internet of the Things. Yes, using of digital technology. Very good. Of digital technology. So basically, I told you that there is critical technology cooperation. That means the advent of industry 4.0, that means cyber security, innovation, digital economy, and cyber and critical technology cooperation have become a key part of the Australia relationship with India. Australia relationship Yeah, so you have to keep in the mind. So basically 4.0 industrialization is very important for India and also important for Australia, also important for Australia. Okay. Sorry. Then there is a CESA, Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. So CESA, why CESA? To advance the ongoing bilateral free trade agreement negotiation, and there is likely you can say possibility of full-fledged CESA become a reality sooner than later. So CESA is also important. Okay, CESA is important for the Australia and Australia and the next important aspect is you can say CESA. Friends, CESA means Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. So CESA is likely to low tariffs and provide greater access to Australia and Indian exporter in area such as you can say textile, pharmaceuticals, such as textiles, textiles, then pharmaceuticals. Okay, pharmaceuticals. You have to keep in the mind footwear, dairy products, dairy products, dairy products, milk, premium wines, and many more. And it focus on post-COVID 19 economic recovery. And along with CESA, the importance of an early regulation on the ongoing issue of taxation of offshore income of Indian firms in Australia. Then both India and Australia, you'll have to keep in mind, is agreed that long pending free trade agreement covering trade in goods and services investments will be finalized by the end of the 2022. So that means India and Australia, okay, is ready to finalize the free trade agreement. Free trade agreement. Basically, friends, you know there is aim of India. India aims to achieve a 5% share in the world merchandise export and 7% in service export by 2025, and which currently stands at 1.67% in global merchandise export and 3.54% in services. So basically India wants to export in the world, export in the world. Basically merchandise export की अगर आप बात करते हो, so India wants to increase the merchandise export in the you can say कि 5%, okay 5%, बट ये आपका एट परसेंट है कितना, तो 1.67%. एट परसेंट जो है हमारा पूरे वर्ल्ड का 1.67% ही हम मर्केंडाइज एक्सपोर्ट कर पाते हैं. सर्विस सेक्टर की अगर आप बात करते हैं, इंडिया वांट्स टू इंक्रीज सर्विस सेक्टर एक्सपोर्ट्स बाय 2025. तो सर्विस सेक्टर एक्सपोर्ट जो है ये आपका लगभग 7% के हिसाब तक, मतलब कि टोटल वर्ल्ड में जो सर्विस एक्सपोर्ट होता है उसमें इंडिया का कंट्रीब्यूशन 7% तक हो, जो कि एट प्रेजेंट इट इज 3.54%, at 0.54%. Okay, so this is very important कि India wants to increase their exports basically in Australia, also in the world. And then there is a bilateral economic and relationship में बहुत ही important है, वो है आपका क्या we can say ना कि tourism sector, we can say कि tourism sector, a tourism cooperation between Australia and India. And tourism cooperation, both countries have renewed their commitment through an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding on Tourism Cooperation, and both countries try to enable tourism operators on both sides to take advantage of Australia international border reopening to all fully vaccinated eligible visa holders, including tourist and business travelers. Okay, and friends, you know pre-pandemic, that means before COVID-19, India was Australia's fastest growing source of international visitors, and in 2019 almost 4 lakh visitors from India visited Australia and spent a combined of 1.8 $1.8 billion, $1.8 billion. So this is very, very important data. And then there is also, you can say na ki Australia India Infrastructure Forum. Okay, Australia India Infrastructure Forum. Infrastructure Forum. Infrastructure Forum. Australia India Infrastructure Forum. So why? To promote two-way investment in infrastructure and support broader trade and investment bilateral objectives. And then the opportunities in urban infrastructure, transport, and water, and these are the key, okay, focus subsectors for Australia in India. And then friends, now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the next. There is also, you can say, ki cooperation between Australia and India. So next cooperation, okay, we have discussed ki tourism sectors. Then there is a Maitri Friendship Initiative. What is Maitri? That means ki Friendship Initiative. It is a series of 3 new Maitri initiatives to support education, community, tourism, investment links will add to our growing bilateral relationship. Then friends, transfer. Very good. Okay, that's it. Now let's discuss about the Maitri, okay, initiative. That means friendship, and it is a series of 3 new Maitri initiative to support education, community, tourism, and investment links, and it will add to our growing bilateral relationship. Then there is a Maitri scholarship program, Maitri scholarship program, and friends, Maitri scholarship program will attract and support high achieving Indian students to study at Australian universities. And then there is Maitri grants and fellowship programs. Okay, Maitri grants and fellowship programs. Basically, it will build links between our future leaders, supporting mid-career Australian and Indian professionals to collaborate on strategic research and shared priorities. Then there is Australia-India Maitri cultural partnership. Okay, cultural partnership. It will boost the role of the creative industries. Okay, creative industries in our economy, and people-to-people ties to promote artistic then talent and cultural exchange in visual and performing arts, literature, film, television, and music industry. You know, ki cultural partnership is also known as the soft power. Cultural partnership is also known as the soft power. There are 2 types of the power: hard power and the soft power. Okay, people to people connect is the part of the soft power. Hard power means कंपनी बोलो, कंट्री के पास कितने आपके वेपन्स है, कंट्री के पास कितने आपके, जो हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि मैन पावर है, कंट्री के पास कितने जो है आपके किस टाइप के टेक्नोलॉजी है, एंड कंट्री के पास कैसे आपके पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम्स है. And then soft power means relation between the people to people. Then also we can say कि presence of the culture in the Australia, just like we can say ना कि अमेरिका में soft power इंडिया का बहुत है, and soft power is also working as a lobby. Soft power is also working as a lobby. You will have to keep in the mind. So soft power means art and culture, people to people connect. Okay, and both India and Australia wants to increase the soft power connectivity. Okay, soft power connectivity. Then there is the Australia India energy dialogue. Australia India energy dialogue, you will have to keep in mind Australia India energy dialogue. एंड दोनों कंट्री जो हैं वो आपके डिसाइड किए हैं कि जो आपका टेक्नोलॉजी होगा ग्लोबल एमिशन को रिड्यूस करने में, टेंजिबल एक्शन को लेने में, कोई ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स जो मैन्युफैक्चर और डिप्लॉयमेंट ऑफ अल्ट्रा लो कॉस्ट सोलर से रिलेटेड या ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन से रिलेटेड है, उस पर वो मिल करके काम करेंगे. बेसिकली फ्रेंड्स, ओवर 90% ऑफ सोलर सेल ग्लोबली यूज ऑस्ट्रेलियन टेक्नोलॉजी. 90% सोलर सेल, तो 90% ग्लोबल, अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं 90%, more than 90% solar cells globally use Australian technology. And India in the next 10 years will be one of the largest adopter of solar technology in the world. इसलिए ऑस्ट्रेलिया की क्या लगता है कि हमारे लिए बहुत ही बढ़िया मौका है, इंडिया मार्केट बढ़ेगा, है ना, बिकॉज इंडियाज नेशनल हाइड्रोजन मिशन जो है उसमें भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया का रोल हो सकता है, वो आपका एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी दे सकता है. तो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सो प्लीज कीप इन द माइंड. एंड इंडिया इज ऑल्सो फोकसिंग ऑन ए नेशनल hydrogen mission, green hydrogen mission is also in a news, so you will have to keep in the mind. So there is also one most important point is that ki Australia India business exchange program, Australia India business exchange program, what it is. सबसे पहले तो ये हमें समझना है कि ये क्यों बना. ये बना कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया और इंडिया की जो बिजनेस पार्टनरशिप है वो क्या करे, उनके बीच कोऑपरेशन हो सके. ऑस्ट्रेलियन गवर्नमेंट हैज लॉन्च द ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया बिजनेस एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम. इसके कुछ तो हम लोग कहते हैं बेसिकली 3 इंपॉर्टेंट आप याद रखिएगा कि ऑब्जेक्टिव्स है. सबसे पहले कि एक्सेस द लेटेस्ट इनसाइट एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज. दैट मींस कि हमें जो फोकस करना है वो अपॉर्चुनिटी दोनों कंट्री के क्या और हो सकते हैं. अपॉर्चुनिटीज, both country will focus on opportunities, okay. Yeah, access the latest insight, then establish valuable connection and partnership. Establish valuable connection, that means connection and partnership, connection and partnership, connection and partnership, very very important. And the next is friend कि complete and succeed in the Indian market. क्या चाहता है ऑस्ट्रेलिया कि वो सक्सेस होना चाहता है आपका कहाँ पे, इंडियन मार्केट में. क्या भी चाहेगा कि हमें सक्सेस होना है ना. सो प्लीज कीप इट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the next important points we have discussed. Yeah, we should discuss what are the challenges between the Australia and the India bilateral relation. What are the challenges? चलिए आप लोग पहले बताइए कि what are the challenges between the Australia and the India relation, bilateral relation. What are the challenges? क्या बता सकते हैं क्या क्या चुनौती. कोई नहीं. अब यही देखो प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है कि आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट जल्दी से पार्टिसिपेट. व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस, तब तक मैं आप लोग को बता देता हूँ. चैलेंजेस की अगर आप बात करते हैं तो बेसिकली इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन में अगर आप देखो ट्रेडिशनल सिक्योरिटी चैलेंजेस हैं. ओके, ट्रेडिशनल challenges, traditional security challenges, okay, that relates to of trust, the form of China which has emerged as a regional power and has little faith in rule-based order. And there are also growing number of non-traditional and transboundary security challenges including terrorism, natural disaster and pandemics. And India also faces unfavorable trade with Australia. हमारा जो है आपका क्या है, अनफेवरेबल ट्रेड है. अनफेवरेबल ट्रेड, इंपोर्ट हमारा ज्यादा है, एक्सपोर्ट हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया को कम करते हैं. अनफेवरेबल ट्रेड, ओके. तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ है हमारा, उसको बैलेंस करने की जरूरत है. दैन जो उसके बाद अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं कि आप देखोगे कि एक ट्रेड बैलेंस होना चाहिए. ठीक है, जो ट्रेड बैलेंस होगा, जितना हम लोग कहते हैं ना इंपोर्ट करें उसमें एक्सपोर्ट हमारा ज्यादा हो तो हमारा फेवरेबल कंडीशन. So this is very very important. Okay. So in the last friends we can say कि India and Australia share a truly comprehensive bilateral growth story and that is driven by the consistent commitment and action. So the key lie in Australia and India thriving each other growth stories, and it involves a holistic multi stroke, okay, also you can multi stakeholder strategy approach which deepens understanding and appreciation of each other. So basically there is a, okay, you can say na ki need a cooperation from both countries, cooperation from both country. Basically आप लोग को मैंने एक इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन का टॉपिक मैंने कवर करवा दिया है, दैट इज ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया रिलेशनशिप. दैट इज ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया रिलेशनशिप. यस, इशू ऑफ साउथ चाइना सी. वेरी गुड स्वागत का. So we have discussed about the Australia-India relation. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss. Let's start our discussion with a new topic: heritage conservation in of India. Heritage conservation in cities of India. We should understand because this topic is very very important, and this topic is related to art and culture. This topic, art and culture. Art and कल्चर। दिस टॉपिक ये टॉपिक जो है वो आपका आर्ट एंड कल्चर से रिलेटेड है। तो क्या कॉन्टेक्स्ट है? तो नीड फॉर कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट इन इंडिया सिटीज टू बी प्रोटेक्टेड सो दैट द current and future citizen are rooted in their heritage and feel proud of it. ओके, जैसे कि आप बात करते हो, हमारा एक फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी भी है जो कहता है कि नेशनल इंपोर्टेंस की जो चीजें है, जो हम लोग कहते हैं नेशनल हेरिटेज जो है, उसको आपको क्या करना है, उसको आपको प्रिजर्व करते रहना है, उसको आपको क्या करना है, प्रिजर्व करना है। ओके, तो इसीलिए हमारे लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक जो है आपका हो जाता है, और आप लोग भी इसे अच्छे से शेयर करोगे, दैट मीन्स की समझने की करोगे, और आप लोग को बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होगा ये सारी चीज़ें। ठीक है, तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं एंड बात करते हैं जो हमारे लिए फैक्ट होगा, वो सारी चीज़ें डिस्कस करते चलना है। तो बेसिकली सबसे पहले मैंने कॉन्टेक्स्ट तो आप लोग को बता ही दिया है। नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड एंड लेट्स सॉरी डिस्कस कि व्हाट इज द बैकग्राउंड। बेसिकली फ्रेंड्स, सिटीज सिटीज और जो टाउन्स होते हैं, एक आपका कैटलिस्ट के रूप में काम करता है। कैटलिस्ट मीन्स इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ कल्चर्स होता है, सोशो एंड इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट होता है। और वर्ल्ड का जो अब ज्यादातर जो लोग हैं, आपका मोर देन 50% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स पॉपुलेशन आर लिविंग इन द सिटी, लिविंग इन द सिटी। आपका मोर देन 50% की अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं, and historical sites represent the heart of the city and which play a very important role in creating a stimulating and economically attractive environments for inhabitants. And the development of this site, historical site, is an integral part of the societies that compromise historic buildings, urban spaces, and people using them. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the important facts related to you. Okay, that means ki first of all, you know कि India has rich cultural heritage, and the Indian government is also okay focusing on preserve the heritage site. But we can say कि at present situation, the current issue, कि India is facing the problems related to manage or preserve the cultural heritage site. Cultural heritage site. So we should discuss about the India cultural heritage site. Okay, any of you, कोई आप मुझे बता सकते हो कि क्या मैं जो है okay can economic integration means you can say कि trade between the both countries. Okay, trade between the both countries. Okay, स्वागत का now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the next। तो हमारा है हेरिटेज के बारे में जो हम लोग कर रहे थे। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी शुड डिस्कस कि इंडिया हैज अ रिच कल्चरल हेरिटेज। हाउ कैन वी? बिकॉज इंडिया हैज एन ancient and living civilization, and India is enormously rich in cultural heritage because India has diversity, and also you can say India's diversity is equally vast, and it is due to India having assimilated into itself thousands of years of diverse cultural trends. This is very very important. We should understand, we should okay know कि India has rich cultural heritage, and the richness visible in its tangible heritage, that means ki archaeological sites, just like example we can Bolavira, okay, from the Indus Valley civilization, Lothal, okay, and monuments, let's talk example Red Fort, okay, आगरा का ताजमहल जो है आपका, कुतुब मीनार, लैंडस्केप्स हैं, आर्टिफैक्ट्स हैं, अदर स्ट्रक्चर है जिसके अपने हिस्टोरिकल वैल्यू होते हैं, और बहुत सारे इंटेंजिबल हेरिटेज है जिसमें लैंग्वेज, म्यूजिक, फेस्टिवल, डांस, सोशल प्रैक्टिस एंड कस्टम्स जो है ये सब आता है। तो बेसिकली आई टोल्ड यू कि इंडिया हैज रिच हेरिटेज, ओके, रिच कल्चरल हेरिटेज, रिच cultural heritage. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss about what is the meaning of cultural heritage. Cultural heritage जो होता है कि basically we can say कि cultural heritage is typically understood the built heritage monuments related to culture such as museums, religious buildings, ancient structures and sites. And cultural heritage constitute an integral part of nation, that means ki nation history, and it identify identity also and regional diversity. So cultural heritage is very very important. You'll have to keep. Let's take example if UPSC or ask a question. अगर क्वेश्चन पूछता है तो होता क्या है आपका, मैं एक चीज बताऊं तो कल्चर हेरिटेज का डेफिनेशन यू शुड नो एंड यू हैव टू राइट. अगर कल्चर से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन पूछ ले, हेरिटेज से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन तो नाउ I told you what is the meaning of cultural heritage. It is a typically understood to build heritage monuments related to culture such as museums, religious building, ancient structure and various sites. And cultural heritage okay, also constitute an integral part of nation history, identity and the diversity. What are the significances of cultural heritage? कौन बताएगा? What are the significances of cultural heritage? Any of you? कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि क्या क्या है आपका कल्चरल हेरिटेज के सिग्निफिकेंसेस ऑफ कल्चरल हेरिटेज? ऑफ कल्चरल हेरिटेज, any one? What are the significances of cultural heritage? कोई नहीं, फटाफट जैसे आप लोग को आई दे कमेंट कर दे. ट्राई टू पार्टिसिपेट. व्हाट आर द इंपोर्टेंस ऑफ द कल्चरल हेरिटेज? या व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द कल्चरल हेरिटेज? फटाफट. वो टूरिज्म. ओके, वी हैव डिस्कस द इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया रिलेशन. आपका लगभग जो है 4 लाख लोग जो है आपका क्या किए थे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में विजिट. 1.8 बिलियन डॉलर के लगभग खर्च किए. क्या होता है, फॉरेक्स रिजर्व भी बढ़ता है. यस, तो इससे क्या होता है आपका एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन भी होता है. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss about the significance of the cultural heritage or the importance of the cultural heritage. It conveys diverse messages and values that contribute to give a meaning to people's life, and it represents the identity of a social group. It represents a vehicle for understanding the diversity of people and developing a policy for peace and mutual comprehension. It is a source of the economic development. The source of the economic development. Yes, it attracts the visitors to India. Very good. Okay. So basically, you will have to keep in mind. Now we have discussed the cultural heritage is the identity, is an identity for society, an identity for also we can say ki a country. Let's take an example कि if you visit कुतुब मीनार और रेड फोर्ट और वट एवर जो आपका हेरिटेज साइट्स होते हैं, तो उससे आपको बहुत सारे यू विल गेट वेरियस इंफॉर्मेशन एंड यू विल गेट कि व्हाट वाज द कंडीशन ऑफ सोसाइटी ड्यूरिंग द मुगल पीरियड, ड्यूरिंग द एंशिएंट पीरियड, ड्यूरिंग द वट एवर जो भी हम लोग कहते हैं जी. जहाँ के भी आप चीजें को देखोगे तो उससे आपको आइडिया लग जाएगा. ओके, एंड देन also you can say they are the persistent challenges in the conserving heritage. Yes, they are also persistent challenging. So what are the challenges for the culture heritage? तो प्रिजर्व रखने में भी challenges है. So first कि globalization is increasing, then structural social and demographic changes, environmental problems, urban growth, then variety of heritage that are to be protected, then process of selection. Okay, process of selection, then volume of heritage structure in Indian cities, finance needed to protect them, there is a lack of funds, then reconciling heritage conservation with the future development. Okay, that means ki yes, there is a need to arise urbanization, but we'll have to keep in the mind our heritage, our culture heritage will have to preserve. It's our fundamental duty. ये हमारा national monuments को preserve करने का एक fundamental duty भी है. So you'll have to keep in the mind. Yes, what are the constitutional and legal provision to protect India heritage? मैंने आपको बताया बेसिकली फ्रेंड्स आर्टिकल 49 आपका जो है आर्टिकल 49 ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दैट मींस पीएसपी पार्ट 4 ओके तो आर्टिकल 49 is one of the most important directive principle and it says it shall be the obligation of a state to protect every monument or place or object of artistic or historic interest okay to be a national importance from you can say spoliation disfigurement destruction removal disposal or export as the case may be तो आई होप कि आप लोग को डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल के बारे में पता ही होगा कि डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल जो है आप क्या है इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स फॉर स्टेट्स यस रेवेन्यू जनरेशन वेरी गुड हेमंत एंड देन डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल पार्ट 4 आर्टिकल 36 to 51 okay it is not enforceable so you'll have to keep so I told you कि article 49 talks about the preservation of the heritage and then there is article 51A F जो मैंने आप लोग को बताया था फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी article 51 clause F okay, article 51A clause F and it is the fundamental duty of Indian citizen and it says it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture and then there is also article G okay article G of fundamental duty that means article 51AG okay says to protect and improve the natural environment including forest lakes rivers and wildlife and to have compassion for living creature okay तो आप लोग को पता ही होगा कि डीपीएसपी को जो है एक्ट बना करके लॉ बना करके पूरा किया जाता है तो इन्हीं दो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस को डीपीएसपी और फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी को जो है आपका पूरा किया गया तो उसके लिए आपका एक एक्ट आया था 1958 में एंशिएंट मॉन्यूमेंट्स एंड आर्कियोलॉजिकल साइट्स एंड रिमेन एक्ट ओके 1950 एंड देन इसी के द्वारा आपका जो नेशनल मॉन्यूमेंट अथॉरिटी जो है सेटअप किया गया था नेशनल मॉन्यूमेंट अथॉरिटी सेटअप किया गया एंड इंडिया हैव नेशनली प्रोटेक्टेड मॉन्यूमेंट्स नंबरिंग अराउंड 3650 अगर आप एट प्रेजेंट की बात करते हो इंडिया में 3600 लगभग जो है नेशनल मॉन्यूमेंट हैं ओके एंड इसके किसके द्वारा प्रिजर्व किया जाता है प्रिजर्व बाय द आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया एंड आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया कम्स अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर फैक्ट अबाउट आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया and state protected monuments that are administered by the directorates of state archaeology and together at present अगर बात करते हैं कि एक आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया 3650 और स्टेट्स के अगर स्ट्रक्चर की आप बात कर लो तो लगभग जो है टोटल 10,000 स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं 10,000 स्ट्रक्चर इन इंडिया जो कि मैनेज किया जाता है एंड यू कैन से ना कि 3650 मैनेज्ड बाय द आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया and remaining managed by the state directorate of state archaeology okay and then we should discuss the facts related to the archaeological survey of India this is very very important basically it works under the Ministry of Culture it takes care around of 3650 nationally protected monuments and it is also tasked with the protecting state protected monuments that are administered by the directorates of state archaeology and together they protect about 10,000 structure okay we have already discussed so you'll have to keep in the mind archaeological survey of India is in news maybe PSC or state service may ask a question okay yes war situation also challenge of culture heritage यूक्रेन के तो कितने सारे जो है आपके कल्चर हेरिटेज बर्बाद हो गए है ना तो व्हाट आर द एफर्ट्स कौन कौन से एफर्ट्स आपके लिए गए हैं तो फॉर पर्पस we have discussed कि नेशनल मॉन्यूमेंट एक्ट 1950 बात करते हैं एंड देन उसके बाद जो है आप देखो कि हेरिटेज लिस्ट बनाया गया है एंड मुंबई वाज द फर्स्ट सिटी कम अप विथ सच अ लिस्ट इन द मिड 90s लिस्ट मींस कि फॉर प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ कल्चरल साइट्स एंड देन सेवरल सिटीज फॉलोड यू कैन से ना मुंबई पैटर्न अहमदाबाद जयपुर बेंगलोर एंड सो मैनी ओके एंड हेरिटेज साइट जो अपने इंडिया में से आपको 3 ग्रेड में डिवाइड किया गया है ग्रेड 1 ग्रेड 2 ग्रेड 3 स्ट्रक्चर्स Many of the city heritage list has several hundred piece of heritage listed. उसके बाद अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं इसमें से बहुत सारे जो है आपके पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टीज हैं तो बहुत सारे प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टीज भी. So there should be a suggestion. You can say we should learn from the expert how to manage the our culture heritage. There is a need to effective formulation, okay, effective formulation, and when we should know discuss about the key World Heritage List. डिटेल में नहीं, पूरा सा में ये जरूर जान कि वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज लिस्ट जो है कैन डिवाइड या देयर इज थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. फर्स्ट इज कल्चरल एंड नेचुरल एंड द मिक्स्ड. अपने इंडिया में कंचनजंगा जो है वो आपके मिक्स साइट्स हैं. ओके, तो जो कल्चरल हेरिटेज मीन्स इट कंप्राइज हिस्टोरिकल बिल्डिंग एंड आर्कियोलॉजिकल साइट, स्कल्पचर एंड पेंटिंग. And then there is a natural heritage. It includes exceptional natural beauty, exceptional biodiversity, habitats for rare and endangered animals and plants, such things of rare natural significance. And there is a mixed heritage, and it contains elements of both natural and the cultural significances. And there is also a need to they should be increasing the public awareness. Basically, देयर इज इलिटरेसी. लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि हमारे कल्चर हेरिटेज के भी अपने बहुत सारे इम्पोर्टेंस होते हैं. एंड देयर इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट की इन्वेस्टमेंट. इन्वेस्टमेंट भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. सर कल्चर हेरिटेज साइट्स आर but basically in India they are national importance cultural sites which is managed by the Archaeological Survey of India. That means it directly comes under the Ministry of Culture. And there is also various sites जो आपके स्टेट के द्वारा मैनेज किए जाते हैं. स्टेट के द्वारा भी मैनेज किए जाते हैं. अब जब दोनों को ले लेते हैं, स्टेट वाला भी और सेंटर मतलब कि आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया वाला भी, तो लगभग आपके 10,000 जो है आपके नेशनल 10,000 जो कल्चर हेरिटेज साइट्स है एट प्रेजेंट दोनों के द्वारा मैनेज किया. अच्छा, लिस्ट ये कंकरेंट लिस्ट के अंदर हम लोग रख सकते हैं ही कल्चर हेरिटेज प्रिजर्वेशन दोनों का काम. So we have discussed about the heritage and you will have to study about the world heritage sites in India. धोलावीरा भी न्यूज में था. ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट जो है आपका हो जाता है. Ramsar sites include sites or not? Ramsar sites it is not the part of the you can say world heritage lists. At present, it has 40 cultural world heritage sites. आप देखोगे कि आपका 32 कल्चरल यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट्स है. 7 जो है आपके यूनेस्को की वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट मतलब कि नेचुरल है, और 1 जो है आपका मिक्स है. एंड 2021 यूनेस्को ने हड़प्पा सिटी ऑफ धोलावीरा को आपका इंडिया का 40th वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट जो है डिस्कवर किया था. एंड धोलावीरा जो है वो अपने फर्स्ट साइट ऑफ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन है जो वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट का पार्ट बना है. वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट का पार्ट बना है. ओके, सो प्लीज द माइंड. तो बेसिकली यू विल हैव टू माइंड कि सबसे पहला जो आपका वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट जो डिस्कवर जो आपका डिक्लेयर हुआ था दैट वाज आगरा फोर्ट. एंड लेटेस्ट जो है एंड आगरा फोर्ट मतलब ताजमहल वाला इलाका जो है. एंड उसके बाद जो हम लोग बात करते हैं अपने इंडिया में आपका लेटेस्ट जो है वो दैट इज धोलावीरा. तो एट प्रेजेंट इंडिया हैज 40 के वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट. 40 में से 32 जो है आपके कल्चर है, 7 जो है नेचुरल है, 1 जो है आपके मिक्स जो है साइट्स है. मिक्स साइट है. और मिक्स साइट जो है वो है आपका कंचनजंगा का जो पार्क है, ठीक है, नेशनल पार्क, मिक्स साइट्स के रूप में आपको जाना जाता है. नाउ let's move ahead and let's also do you know कि जो यूनेस्को के वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट जो है उसमें नेचुरल में जो भी पार्क आते हैं वो आपका बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। ग्रेट हिमालयन नेशनल पार्क, काजीरंगा नेशनल पार्क, केवला देव नेशनल पार्क, मानस वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी, देवी एंड वैली ऑफ फ्लावर्स नेशनल पार्क, सुंदरबन नेशनल पार्क, ईस्टर्न घाट्स नेशनल पार्क एंड कांचनजंगा जो मिक्स में है, इट वाज डिक्लेयर्ड एज अ मिक्स इन 2016। नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड एंड लेट्स डिस्कस द एक मेंस का आंसर जरूर होना चाहिए में, ठीक है, क्योंकि जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक होता है मेंस का, बाकी तो आपके स्लाइड्स में होते हैं, आप लोगों से एक क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट आर द, क्या ऐसे क्वेश्चन, इन द present scenario, the present scenario, the present scenario, tourism sector is, tourism sector is known as sunrise industry. The present scenario, yeah, in the present context, the present scenario, tourism sector known as sunrise industry. Question mark, question mark. What are the, what are the major challenges, what are the major challenges ahead of tourism sector in India? What are the major challenges ahead of tourism sector in India? तो क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर, क्वेश्चन आप लोगों को क्लियर हो गया होगा। The present context, tourism sector is known as sunrise industry or sunrise sector. Question mark. What are the major challenges ahead of tourism sector in India? Ahead of tourism sector in India. तो कितने लोग लिखने जा रहे हो आंसर, जल्दी से कमेंट करिएगा, बताइएगा फटाफट। You'll have to write, you'll have to forward, okay, and your time starts now, and you'll have to write to answer within 12 minutes. Very good, Jayasree. Can I start your writing? Your time starts now. I already have 2 minutes, 4 minutes left. Okay, try to conclude. So now I'm going to new topic, and new topic is so important. So basically, one topic is yeah, sorry, Iran Russia relation the राइसी डायमेंशन आप लोग बस साइट से पर हो जाइए और ये इसके ज़्यादा हमें नहीं क्या का जो है यस ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट आपको प्लेस एग्जामिनेशन व्हाट इज एशियन इकोनॉमिक ईए तो बेसिकली इकोनॉमिक it includes Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, and as well as Russia, Okay, so this is very very important for your prelims examination. Very very important for your prelims examination. The Eurasian Economic Union, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, and Russia. So they are objectives of the Eurasian Economic objective is increase cooperation and economic competitiveness for the member states, promotion of stable development to raise the standard of living in member state, free movement of goods, services, labor, and capital between the states, provide for common policies in the macroeconomic sphere, and the agreement was designed to be in effect for 3 years, and it is okay to expire on 5th October 2022. So this is important. Okay. For this reason, the parties have recently begun technical and expert negotiations to upgrade PTA, Preferential Trade Agreement, to a Free Trade Agreement. That means the FTA. So EU is in news. So you will have to prepare for the prelims examination. Now let's discuss about the next topic, and the next topic is role of UNHCR. We have already discussed about the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee. So basically, for prelims examination, you'll have to discuss, you'll have to understand the, you can say like UNHCR. What is the UNHCR? Because at present time, world is the largest and most rapid escalation ever in the number of people being forced from their homes. That means the millions of peoples fleeing conflict in Russia, Iraq, Afghanistan, Myanmar, and recently in Ukraine, and as well as persecution in areas of Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. So it also you can say Sub-Saharan Africa. Hence, there is various word is in news. Also, we can say ki what asylum we have already discussed. Then refugee we have already discussed. Migrant we have already discussed. Okay, in previous class. So we should know about the organization United Nations High Commission. Okay, Commissioner for Refugee, and it is in news. So we should prepare this topic for prelims examination. Basically, friends, UNHCR, it was created in 1950 to address the refugee crisis that resulted from World War II. And you know, after the World War II, there is a largest number of people who you can say move from one country to another country. Basically, you can say कि millions of people fleeing conflict in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Myanmar, and recently in Ukraine, and as well as persecution in area of Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, and it is creating the highest level of displacement since Second World War. So UNHCR is very important. It is in news. You will have to prepare. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss. I already told you the UNHCR was created in 1950 to address the refugee crisis. जो refugee crisis सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के बाद जो आपका स्टार्ट हुआ था, इसलिए हमारे लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगा। UNHCR नाम से ही आप देखोगे कि UN लगा है, यूनाइटेड नेशन लगा हुआ है। सो बेसिकली इट इज अ UN एजेंसी and it mandated to aid and protect refugee, forcibly displaced communities and stateless people, and it assists in their voluntary repatriation, local integration, or resettlement to a third country. And UNHCR also won the twice Nobel Prize for Peace, okay, in 1954 and 1981. Its parents organization is the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, and its headquarters is situated in Geneva, Switzerland. And it serves as the guardian of the 1951 Convention and its Protocol 1967. And according to the legislation, states are expected to cooperate with UN, also you can say that UNHCR, in ensuring that the rights of refugees are respected and protected. So there is objective, okay, there is objective of UNHCR. We should discuss what are the objective. Basically, UNHCR objective is to guarantee the fundamental rules accepted by all states concerning the right of individual to flee their country and seek asylum in another. And India ने इसको साइन नहीं किया है, इंडिया ने रेक्टिफाई भी नहीं किया है, ये ध्यान में रखिएगा. And to facilitate the same, it helps states faces the administrative, legal, diplomatic, financial, and human problems that are caused by the refugee phenomenon. So we should also know about the three terms: asylum, seeker, and migrant. Okay, asylum, then there is seeker, then there is migrant. We have discussed. हम क्या हुआ है लेकिन आपको याद दिला दूं. Okay, basically, also you can say ना कि asylum. First of all, we should know about the asylum seeker. एक term हो गया, asylum हो गया. Sorry, एक. Then there is refugee. Then there is migrant. So asylum seeker. Okay, asylum seeker means you can say asylum seeker is a person who has left their country and is seeking protection from persecution and serious human rights violation in another country, but who has not yet been legally recognized as a refugee and is waiting to receive a decision on their asylum claim. And seeking asylum is a human right, and this means everyone should be allowed to enter another country to seek asylum. And then there is a word refugee. Refugee also very important. Okay, so refugee are person who are outside their country of origin for reason of feared persecution, conflict, generalized violence, or other circumstances that have seriously disturbed public order and as a result require international protection. And the refugee definition can be found in 1951 Convention and regional refugee as well as UNHCR law. And the United Nations defines refugee as those individuals that have fled their own countries because of persecutions, war, or violence. Then there is a migrant. While there is no formal legal definition of an international migrant, and most of the experts agree that an international migrant is someone who changed his or her country of usual residence irrespective of the region of for migration or legal status. Generally, we can say that there is a distinction, and distinction is made between the short term or the temporary migration and covering movements with a duration between 3 and 12 months, and a long term for permanent migration, referring to a change of a country of a residence for a duration of 1 year or more. Okay, so basically asylum we can say कि a person who has left their country and is seeking protection from persecution, लेकिन अभी तक उसे लीगल नहीं है, हम लोग कहते हैं आपका डिक्लेयर किया गया है किसको लेकर के आप कह सकते रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किया गया एज अ रिफ्यूजी, तो असाइलम सीकर रिफ्यूजी को लोग कहते हैं लीगल रिकॉग्नाइज कर दिया जाता है. माइग्रेंट्स मींस मूवमेंट ऑफ वन पर्सन फ्रॉम अनदर जैसे कि प्लीज, तो प्लीज कीप इन द माइंड. नाउ IS ASYLAUM asylum. SYLUM asylum, then asylum seeker, then refugee, then migrant. So you will have to keep in mind 1951 convention talks about the asylum, also talks about the refugee, and also we can say ना कि asylum seeking और ये asylum जो है वो आपका एक human rights भी है, and India is not a party of the UN Refugee Convention, and it is a party to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 and the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights of 1966. But India is not a party of UN Refugee Convention. That means 1951. You will have to keep in mind. Okay. Now, there is lots of you can say current news related to crisis across the globe. Rohingya, Muslim of Myanmar, दैन जो तालिबान का जो आपका अफगानिस्तान में हुआ था, सो अफगान्स वेयर एवुकेटेड टू द UAE, दैन दे जो ऑल्सो इन अफ्रीका, कॉन्गो में प्रॉब्लम है, युगांडा में, दैन सूडान में, ओके, दैन उसके बाद यूक्रेन के जो अभी क्राइसिस हो रहे हैं, ओके, यू विल हैव टू कीप इन द माइंड. So there is also important there is challenges related to UNHCR. No need to Google. You will have to keep in mind facts related to UNHCR. That means for the prelims examination. For the prelims examination. Okay. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss next topic. And next topic is also very important. Move ahead. So basically for prelims you have to prepare UNHCR 1951 convention, and India is not a party of 1951 convention. ये आपको ध्यान में रखने की जरूरत है, ये आपको क्या करना है, ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. Now there is a important point to Australia India script chapter bilateralists have discussed, and there is a news related to judicial appointments. Okay, judicial appointments. So you will have to prepare in this topic collegium system. Have to prepare the collegium system. कॉलेजियम एंड हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया हुआ भी है पहले करंट अफेयर्स में. ओके, तो नो नोट टू गो इन डिटेल. यस, सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स, आर्टिकल 50 ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन टॉक्स अबाउट द सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स. दैट मींस कि देयर इज सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स बिटवीन द एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड द जुडिशरी. आल्सो यू विल हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. तो ज्यादा इस डिटेल जाना है, बट देयर शुड बी अ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर. ओके, देन आल्सो लेट्स मूव अहेड द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. तो अच्छा, एक चीज और कॉलेजियम सिस्टम बता दूं कि व्हाट इज द कॉलेजियम सिस्टम. कॉलेजियम सिस्टम द सिस्टम ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट एंड ट्रांसफर ऑफ जजेस, एंड दैट हैज इवॉल्व्ड थ्रू जजमेंट्स ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट and not by an act of parliament or by a provision of constitution. And under the collegium system, the collegium decides you can say appointments and elevation of judges and lawyers to the Supreme Court and the high courts, transfer of judges to high courts and the apex courts. And in Supreme Court collegium, okay, so Supreme Court the collegium is headed by the Chief Justice of India and comprises 4 other senior most judges. 4 other senior most judges. Courts में 1 Chief Justice of India and 4 senior most judges. Okay, and a High Court collegium is chaired by the Chief Justice of High Court and other 4 senior most. लेकिन बेसिकली अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं 1+4 का कॉन्सेप्ट है, एंड ये पहले कितना था 3, अब हाई कोर्ट के लिए भी जो है 4 हो चुका है. तो प्रोसीजर, चीफ जस्टिस एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजेस क्या करेंगे, नाम को रिकमेंड करेंगे, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास जाएगा, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट नाम को फाइनल करेंगे, देन प्रेसिडेंट विल अपॉइंट. ओके, so you will have to keep in mind, this is very very important. And then there is also what should topic no for the prelims examination, you will have to keep in mind collegium have already discussed. Okay, yeah, ये आपके मेन रोल ऑफ इंडिजिनियस. Yeah, concept of circular economy. Concept of circular economy is in news, so we should first the concept and we understand the, you can say कि concept of circular economy from new to forever new. आपके नए से हमेशा के नए के लिए. So this is important. So now circular economy, the topic already it is related to economy, and the context is European Union has called for support to enhance circular economy at a working group of the fifth session of the United Nations Environment Assembly. So what is concept of circular economy? Basically friends, it entails markets that give incentive to reusing products rather than scrapping them and then extracting the new resources. Let's take example, if you have pen, अगर आपके पास पेन है तो उसको क्या करना है, दोबारा रीयूज करना है, उसको बर्बाद स्क्रैप नहीं करना, फेंकना नहीं है, या उसका दोबारा रीयूज हो सकता है या उससे कोई नए चीजें आपके बनाई जा सकती है. So circular economy therefore is a model of production and consumption, model, okay, of production and consumption, which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling existing materials and product as long as possible. So in this way, what will happen? The life cycle of product is extended. The life cycle of product is extended. So circular means कि एक cycle हम लोग कहते हैं, साइकिल जो ऐसे. ओके, तो ये ध्यान में रखना है. बेसिकली वी ना कि कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी विल रिड्यूस द वेस्ट टू अ मिनिमम, will reduce the waste to a minimum, and when a product reaches the end of its life, its materials are kept within the economy wherever possible, and these can be productively used again and again and thereby creating further value. Okay, and also we can say concept of circular economy talks about the departure from the traditional or linear economic model, and which is based on a take, make, consume, throw away pattern. use किए फेंक दिए. Okay. And this model rely on large quantity of cheap, easily accessible materials and energy. And circular economy also can provide a way to not only protect the environment but use natural resources more wisely. That means sustainable develop new sectors, and it will create such jobs and develop new capabilities. So basically friends, in circular economy there will be, you can say na ki all forms of waste such as clothes, scrap metal, obsolete electronics are returned to the economy for used more efficiently. So according to United Nations, the concept of circular economy works on the principle the goods of today are the resources of tomorrow at yesterday resource price. At yesterday resource price. Basically, you'll have to keep in mind circular economy. So now let's discuss ki why do we need to switch to a circular economy. Basically, friends, the world's population is growing, increasing, and with its demand for raw materials, however, the supply of crucial raw material is limited. Let's take example of the we can say na ki petroleum. Let's take an example of the minerals. ये सब क्या है, लिमिटेड है, बट पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग. तो उसको कैसे मेंटेन किया जाए, उसको कैसे आपका जो है हम लोग कहते हैं सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को फॉलो किया. And finite supplies also means some countries are dependent on other countries for their raw materials, and the supply of the same can be hampered due to the various reasons. For example, supply of semiconductors being disrupted due to the Russia war Ukraine, then the supply of the crude oil. Okay, so in addition, extracting and using raw materials has a major impact on the environment, and it also increase energy consumption and carbon dioxide emission. And however, smarter use of raw materials can lower carbon dioxide emission. Lower carbon dioxide emission. Okay, so please keep in mind. So circular economic benefits, raw material conservation, there will be innovation, durable products, will create the jobs, it will be efficient, carbon dioxide oxygen emission will reduce. So please mind. Now, what are the benefits? We should discuss about the benefits. Friends, measures such as waste production, okay, designated reuse could save money while also reduce total annual greenhouse gas emissions. It will reduce the, you can, global warming, impact of the global warming. Then also we can say ki the production of material we use every day account for 45% of the carbon dioxide emission at present. Currently the production of material use every day account for 45% of the carbon dioxide emission. So circular economy will reduce these emissions. So we should also discuss about the eco design. What is the meaning of the eco design? This is important. Okay. So eco design is both a principle and also approach. And it consists of integrating environmental protection criteria over a service or a product's life cycle. That means there should be a design which will be very beneficial for environment. And the main goal of eco design is to anticipate and minimize negative environmental impacts. And friends, eco design will also keeps a product's quality level according to its ideal uses. Eco design. Basically, we can say na ki eco design there will be moving towards a more circular economy. You can say ki could deliver. Okay, that means ki deliver various types of benefits, just such as reducing pressure on the environment, improving the security of the supply of raw materials, increasing competitiveness, stimulating innovation, boosting economic growth. Then it will create lots of jobs. Consumer will also be provided with the more durable and innovative products, and it will increase the quality of life and save them money in the long term. Okay, but there is also barrier, there is also challenges ahead of circular economy. There are also challenges ahead of circular economy. So what are the challenges? आप लोग बता सकते हो क्या क्या challenges हो सकता है आपका? What are the challenges for the circular economy? Have discussed. Okay, what are the challenges? Yeah, what are the major challenges for the circular economy? Anyone? uh, Major challenges I'm going to tell you. So first, there will be social and also you can say social and environmental external externalities are not considered in prices. So hence financial market signals instead of people and nature are taken into consideration when economic decisions are made. GDP index does not consider social and environmental externalities and discouraging the creation of value in both these areas. Price of raw materials are fickle and at a low, okay, and at a low. Therefore, good quality secondary are not competitive. Circular economy business models are harder to develop as most investors are still working under a linear economy logic, and sometimes upfront investments are required, which are at this point. Then there is also stock market. Yeah, very good. The demand for the circular product and alternative is still small, and there are not still many qualified professional with a technical or information and communicational technology knowledge who can be the workforce for circular economy. And many companies have the goals and appraisal system that focus on a short-term value creation, whereas the circular economy model is long-term value creation models. So these are the challenges of the circular economy. Okay, so very important we have discussed. Now let's move ahead and let's discuss about the, we can say ना, आप देखो टॉपिक आता है स्टार्टअप्स, आप स्लाइड से स्विफ्ट वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस classes about the Swift. So Swift is in use and this is very important for prelims examination. Okay, Swift stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, and it is an organization that provides services related to the execution of financial transaction and payment between bank of different countries. And the Swift principal function is to serve as the main messaging network through international payments are initiated. And Swift does not, okay, actually move money. It operates as a middleman to verify information of transaction by providing secure financial messaging services to more than 11,000 banks in over 200 countries. And it is a cooperative society registered in La Hulpe, Belgium. So please the mind. And what is the structure of the Swift? You can go through it. Okay, so no need to go in detail. And basically friends, कुछ ये हमारा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स था और बाकी जो टॉपिक्स है आपके स्लाइड्स में कवर है, ठीक है। कुछ टॉपिक्स जरूर मैं डेली डिस्कस करता हूँ जो आपके आने वाले एग्जाम के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकता है। ऑल अबाउट फॉर टुडे क्लास। ओके, थोड़ा हमारा इंट्रैक्शन नहीं हो पाता है, इंट्रैक्शन नहीं हो पाता तो फिर मजा नहीं आता है। आई विल टॉक टू सर एंड ऑल्सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट फॉर टुडे क्लास एंड आई होप प्लीज फ्रेंड्स गो थ्रू स्लाइड्स एंड आफ्टर दैट इफ यू, मैंने आप लोगों को कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर दिया हुआ है, आप लोग को उससे कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो। ओके, कर सकते हो एंड 110% आई विल रिप्लाई। So if you face any type of problem, okay, don't hesitate, send me the message and I will try to reply. I will destroy your doubt. So this is all about for today's class. We'll soon. Thank you so much. And again, I am reminding you, please go through it. You have to revise. Okay, you do not have time to current affair notes. No, okay, no need to worry. So slide is enough. Slide is enough, but you will have to revise. That means on a week, and also try to revise on a 15 days. Okay, and also if you have time, you can manage. You can revise you can say on monthly basis. So that means कि आपको पूरे 1 वीक का जो करंट अफेयर होता है पूरे डिटेल में मैं इसमें कवर कर लेता हूँ। अगर सिर्फ आप सिर्फ स्लाइड से भी गो थ्रू होइएगा तो ये आपके लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग दिस सेशन। विल soon and may God bless all of you. And if you'll face any types of problem, आप लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, साथ शेयर कर सकते हो और मैं उसको क्या करूँगा, डिस्ट्रॉय करूँगा, आपको हेल्प जरूर करूँगा। थैंक यू सो मच। इट्स ओके, लेट्स व्हाट, आप लोग को क्या करना है, अब अच्छे से रिवाइज करना है। ओके, सो मच, गॉड ब्लेस ऑल ऑफ यू।